AI is transforming customer service. It's real and it works. And with Finn, we've built the #1 AI agent for customer service. We're seeing lots of cases where it's solving up to 90% of real queries for real businesses. This includes the real-world complex stuff like issuing a refund or cancelling an order. And we also see it when Finn goes up against competitors. It's top of all the performance benchmarks, top of the G2 leaderboard, and if you're not happy, we'll refund you up to $1 million, which I think says it all. Check it out for yourself at Finn.ai.
On today's Smart 7, Reform promises new plan on immigration, Israel claims hospital strike targeted terrorists, and much more. It's Wednesday, 27th of August, it's National Peach Day, and happy birthday, Aaron Paul.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
The man largely responsible for Brexit, which sparked the current immigration crisis, has pledged to take radical action to deal with the issue if the Reform Party are elected at the next general election. Nigel Farage made a speech on Tuesday which included a plan to use RAF bases to house migrants and threats to sign deals with third-party countries, including Afghanistan. More concerningly, he continued to ramp up far-right tropes, including referring to the migrants arriving as largely undocumented young males who would pose a threat to women and girls.
I fear deeply that anger will grow. In fact, I think there is now, as a result of this, a genuine threat to public order, and that is the very last thing that we want.
There was widespread condemnation of his plan, which seemed light on detail and included impractical suggestions like leaving the ECHR and ripping up the UK's human rights treaties. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch accused him of recycling her own party's immigration rhetoric, including the Rwanda plan, while Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey said he was pretending to be patriotic. Green Party MP Ellie Chowns says his speech was just more incitement to violence.
This is yet more toxic, inflammatory, dangerous rhetoric from Nigel Farage. This isn't a plan to deal with the issue. This is stirring people up.
A letter was published on Tuesday from over 200 former EU ambassadors and senior diplomatic staff calling for urgent action from the EU over Israel's ongoing war in Gaza. Meanwhile, more details emerged on the double strike on the Nasser hospital that killed 20 people, including 5 journalists. Israel claimed that 6 of those killed in the strike were terrorists and that they were targeting a Hamas camera set up to surveil Israeli troops. The UN's Human Rights Office has called for a full inquiry. Dominique Pradelier, president of the International Federation of Journalists, says a proper investigation is essential.
These ones have been specially targeted because they were giving information to outside media. That's exactly why they've been targeted.
Médecins Sans Frontières emergency coordinator Jérôme Grimaud says Israel has been systematic in its targeting of those seeking to report from Gaza.
3 of them die every day on average since the beginning of the war. There is an attempt to silence every voices that actually speak about the reality of civilians in Gaza.
Ukrainian President Zelensky met with his frontline commanders on Tuesday and emerged from the meeting calling for a speeding up of the defence guarantees from the so-called Coalition of the Willing. Russia continues to press hard on the front lines, moving troops for an apparent new assault on the Zaporizhzhia region. Russia has also made it clear that they're in no hurry to engage in peace talks, but Finnish PM Alexander Stubb says it's only a matter of time before Donald Trump's patience runs out with Putin. Former EU Foreign Affairs Chief Baroness Ashton doesn't see any immediate path to peace.
President Putin is not going to sit across the table from President Zelensky until he feels there's something in it for him. Well, he doesn't want a ceasefire. He wants territory that he's either captured or would like to capture to be retained by Russia, and he's always said no NATO forces. He's been very clear.
Tuesday saw another televised Donald Trump cabinet meeting, with Donald running through all of his classic rants. Why windmills are bad, why Joe Biden is responsible for high egg prices, and how Trump ended all crime in Washington, D.C., but isn't a dictator. He's also been busy once again trying to force the Fed into lowering interest rates, even as inflation looks set to spike. His latest target is Lisa Cook, the only black woman in history on the board of the US's central bank. Trump says he has fired her even though he doesn't have the authority to do so and has no apparent evidence of any wrongdoing. Former Bank of England Deputy Governor Sir Howard Davies says giving Trump control of the US banking system is a bad idea.
It is clearly part of an attempt by the Trump administration to control the central bank and to control interest rates. And you can see echoes of that in the UK and in continental Europe already.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, in association with Metro, Travis and Taylor have big news, and Benedict Cumberbatch gets awkward in New York right after this.
Hi, this is Joe from Vanta. In today's digital world, compliance regulations are changing constantly, and earning customer trust has never mattered more. Vanta helps companies get compliant fast and stay secure with the most advanced AI, automation, and continuous monitoring out there. So whether you're a startup going for your first SOC 2 or ISO 27001, or a growing enterprise managing vendor risk, Vanta makes it quick, easy, and scalable. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. Get started at vanta.com.
Welcome back.
Tuesday saw Celtic in Champions League playoff action and 19 games in the Carabao Cup. Celtic went out on penalties, while in the Carabao, Wolves, Brentford and Burnley all made it through to the third round, but Leeds went out on penalties. In New York, the US Open tennis wrapped up the first round of singles on Tuesday, and three Brits, Cameron Norrie, Emma Raducanu and Jack Draper, are safely through. The big talk on court, though, was the news that Taylor Swift is engaged to Travis Kelce, and Iga Swiatek was fully up to speed after winning her first-round match.
My team showed me on Instagram. Well, I'm just happy for her because she deserves the best, and Travis seems like a great guy, and she seems super happy, so I'm happy for her, and I wish them all the best, yeah.
There's a reboot of a classic 80s comedy drama on the way. The Roses is based on the Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner classic War of the Roses. The new version features a slightly unlikely British actor pairing, with Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman taking on the roles of the divorcing couple. It hits cinemas this Friday, and the cast are out on the red carpet in New York, where Benedict says he was much more concerned about how far his character went than Olivia seemed to be.
I just had to check in with Olivia at one point. Are we okay? Because this is getting... It's quite painful, you know, and it's weird. It's just me being a bit of a softie, but also her being brilliant at her job, and that us moving into a different gear. It's a lot of fun.
Keira Knightley is coming back to Netflix in a new thriller called The Woman in Cabin 10, after the success of last year's spy series Black Doves, which is due to get a season 2. This time Keira is tackling a different kind of drama. She plays a journalist who is invited on board a private yacht by a wealthy billionaire played by Guy Pearce, who wants to demonstrate to her how his foundation will save the world, but things start to get weird when it appears a woman has gone overboard. The cast includes Hannah Waddingham and The Walking Dead's David Morrissey, and it drops on Netflix on October 10th.
Someone's gone overboard!
Who did she see?
It's the woman next door, the woman from the cabin there.
She said it was from cabin 10.
Yes, sir, that's what's so unusual.
I was backing in, I turned around...
There was never a guest staying in here, Miss Blackwell. Everyone's accounted for.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day.
Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Hi, this is Joe from Vanta. In today's digital world, compliance regulations are changing constantly, and earning customer trust has never mattered more. Vanta helps companies get compliant fast and stay secure with the most advanced AI, automation, and continuous monitoring out there. So whether you're a startup going for your first SOC 2 or ISO 27001, or a growing enterprise managing vendor risk, Vanta makes it quick, easy, and scalable. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. Get started at vanta.com.